Okay, so good morning, everybody. So it's Wednesday, June 24th. This is the ESSERF Funds program meeting for this week. So like every meeting, we do have people come in muted. And if you have any questions or if you want to make any comments, then you can either use the raise your hand feature that's part of Zoom, or you can write into the chat. So we do have both Paula and Ida here today. So usually Ida will be watching the general chat, and I do have it up, and Paula is managing the waiting room, and so she can look at the raise hand feature. She will be leaving a little bit early, so we do have a couple of other department people that can also look at that. And of course, any of your questions that you may have that we can't answer today, JC is writing those down, and Chelsea will send those on to our program manager down at US Ed. So first things, we do have a number of applications that have been reopened for differing reasons, and so they need they may need adjustments by you at the district level, and so we just want to make sure if you submitted your application and you're unsure and you haven't gotten back an approval yet, and so maybe you're unsure of where your application, or maybe you didn't see the email that let you know that it was being reopened. And so if you're wondering what the status of your application is, just send a private message through the Zoom chat to Chelsea, and she can let you know the status. Or if you have any questions around what needs to be fixed, you can ask her that as well through the private chat. And then I did want to, so I get questions from time to time, of course, saying where are you posting the meeting? So we had been posting them to our Teams channel, but we were having a number of problems getting those, getting people that actually into the Teams, and some of that's because of the security that the state has set up, and so ensuring that we, that everything is secure for the state, and so that's creating some difficulties. So what we're doing now instead, so none of them are actually up there yet, but they will be, is we're actually going to put them into our YouTube channel. And so I'm going to share, in case anybody doesn't know where that exists. And I'll actually show you, I'm going to show you what it is first. So here's our YouTube channel, and it has a bunch of videos from a whole bunch of different topics. So there will be two different categories that aren't here yet. So one for the business manager meetings, and then one for the ESSERF fund meetings. So they'll actually be set up in two different channels. So this is where we've had some essential programs and service, EPS funding videos up there for quite some time. But you can see that there's any number of different topics that are up here. And just so everybody is aware as to how do you get to this. And so hopefully you're seeing the Maine DOE main page right now. And so what you'll do is you'll actually scroll all the way down to the bottom of it, and then you can just click the YouTube. And that will bring you right to this playlist. So again, so it brings you to the home. And so you can, if you want to, so this will actually allow you to see the most recently uploaded videos. So we as members of the department upload them, and then there's a process to actually get them onto this page. And so you can come here, and on the home, you'll actually see the most recently uploaded videos. And then if you want to go to particular playlists, you just go to playlists, and that's how the department is breaking out the different videos. So you can see we have some legislative, some remote learning, a lot of nutrition for, so for the business managers that want to watch the nutrition, as I know many of you oversee that program. So there's a lot of nutrition videos in there, and there's actually a lot of data videos in here. But anyway, so this is where they will eventually show up, and so this is a public, so you don't have to have a login to get here. So that should hopefully make it a little bit easier once they do start showing up. You guys will be able to get to them very easily. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I know Chelsea said she didn't have, and I don't have any slide deck. And I know Chelsea said that she didn't have any slide deck. So I do want to open it up unless Chelsea has any comments, or if it, somebody else that's helping with the review process has any comments. If anybody has any questions, and I closed my chat, so I'm not sure if there's anything going on in the chat. I don't see anything.
There isn't anything going on in the chat. So for those of you that just joined us, there's a handful of districts that currently have an open application, meaning it's been reopened for a reason, and you'll need to address that reason and resubmit. If you are wondering your status, please send me a private message, and I will send you exactly what we sent via the portal so that you can resubmit as soon as possible. The ESSER team, as you know, consists of federal program leaders across the floor, and we review your application submissions within 24 hours. So if you have any question of where you stand with the approval process, send me a private message and I'll give you that information. The past slides are on the CARES Act webpage. I will put that link on the chat, but there were 2 slide decks in the past 2 weeks that we've provided, and what they included were some examples of approved project concepts. So I will put that in the chat, and if you have further questions, please send me a private message.
It usually helps if I take myself off mute before I start talking. So I'm not sure if you have any private messages at this point, Chelsea, but I'm not seeing any in the general group. Oh. So Dean is asking, can we review the eligible cost for food service? I have asked specifically about equipment. Do you have any specific guidance, Chelsea, around that?
What we can tell you is that folks have put in this cost related to staffing needs in their application. So it's over and above what they're needing to receive and will receive through federal reimbursement. But because they're having more staff members deliver meals, they've put in a request. And we've also seen requests for paying for mileage for folks to use their vehicles to deliver meals to families when they're in a more rural setting. So those are 2 of the most popular items. But Dean, what were you thinking of? Did you have a specific concept you wanted to float by the team?
And you can take yourself off mute, Dean, if you.
There we go. Just had to find the button. Yeah, I was asked, the specific question was equipment, and I suspect that there was a piece of equipment, and I don't remember now if it was a cooler or a heating table, something like that. That was really where the question came from.
So the thing to think about, Dean, when you put the application together with your team is how is it connected to COVID-19? We have received, I believe, one application where they did have to buy equipment because they'll be serving meals in a new part of the building to keep students, socially distanced. And so that equipment was approved because the justification directly linked to COVID-19 and keeping students safe as they return to in-person instruction.
That certainly makes sense. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I'm just going to give it a minute or two more as to if anybody's typing anything into the chat box. And we can answer those questions if anybody has anything. So I'm not seeing any hands being raised or people coming off from mute or any messages coming in through the chat box. So I think we can call this a fairly quick meeting today, and hopefully, which will give you some time back today that you can use for, I'm sure, many other purposes. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording and thank you everybody for coming.